you guys offer something that's so good that the people need to be exposed to it. But there's so many of us that are just stuck in that 2010 mindset that, okay, if you open it, they will come. And that just couldn't be farther from the truth.
You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
All right, guys, here we go. Another episode of Gym Marketing Made Simple with Sherman and Blake. Guys, this is episode 2, a little series we have, the things that smart gym owners focus on when they hire a marketing company. And, if you listened last week, we talked about a couple of things. This week, we're going to talk about a couple more things. And we're going to start out with one that I believe is overlooked at times, but everyone, I believe overall the industry is doing a good job of trying to play the long game and focus it, and also focusing on retention. I'm going to start off, Blake, talking about retention because I believe that's something that we've sort of been talking about for a long time in the gym space. But what does that really mean, right? Like, how do you really focus on retention? How do you keep it low? There's always, guys, we know this. There's always going to be people in and out of the gym. That's the business we've chosen. That's how it is. There's no way for us to have, no members ever leave the gym. Like, people are going to move. People are going to, their goals are going to change. People are going to get mad. That's just part of it. But if we can keep the people leaving to a minimum, that helps us long term. And I believe there are quite a few small things that you can do consistently that will help everyone in the gym, right? Because at the end of the day, I do agree with a lot of people that talks about the community and the friendships and all of that stuff. It can definitely keep people around, right? But first of all, you have to be running an excellent training facility. They have to be getting, results and stuff like that. But the retention piece, I believe is on our forefront, but I believe we can do an even better job of having someone in the gym just solely in charge of retention, right? And I mean, when people are missing classes and they're going through life and, stuff is just off, right? Like, we see these clients enough in our gyms when we know something is off. So we should be going above and beyond doing things that the big guys just can't do, right? Like, it's just impossible for a gym with, 20, 30,000 people to have a high touch level of service in comparison to a gym that has 200 members, right? And the owner's there and the coaches are engaged. So it's pretty much impossible for these guys to really keep up with that. So I challenge you guys to really look at ways outside. I want to be clear, outside of automations. Again, on last episode, we talked about how the automations and all that stuff are important. They are, right? But you have to keep that human level high as well when you are trying to keep people around long term, right? You really have to be focused on what's going on in the gym, what's going on out of the gym. Are they getting closer to their goals and all of that stuff? Because if you're not, eventually they're going to come to you and say, I love you, Blake, but this place, I'm going to go try something else, or I'm just going to take a break. And look, guys, we know most times when someone's taking a break, that it's just a polite way of, breaking up with the gym. It's not you, it's me. Like, it's one of those things. So, Blake, I'm going to let you chime in a little bit as far as talking about the retention piece of it.
Yeah, so I think, like we mentioned last week, if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to part 1. But 3 to 5% is kind of like the gold standard to shoot for. Now, if you're in a transient area, like downtown Chicago or like a downtown metro area, it might be a little higher. just because people move. They live there when they're younger and then move out to the suburbs or whatever. So 3 to 5% is the goal. So use that as kind of the benchmark. B, from there, know the number one reason why people don't go to, or that quit coming to the gym and cancel their membership. The number one reason is simply they're not going and not using it. So set up a system like, Matt from our team, he was talking yesterday in our Pinnacle Mastermind group, that he gets notified every single time that somebody hasn't been in the gym for 8 days. He calls those people as the owner, or if you're not going to do it as the owner, if you're not great client facing, and you have somebody that's like really good, just caring, kind of that type of person, then have them call each one of those people, run the port every single Monday, and then call all those people, and then get a time down on your calendar, or not on the calendar, on the schedule when they're coming in, and book them for that class. Keep them accountability, right? Then, if you think about it, the reason why people join group fitness classes is because they can't do it on their own. So, because if they could do it on their own, they would, and kind of like me, just work out in their basement. I don't need a group class to motivate me and things like that. I don't need coaches. Like, I can do it all myself. Those people can't do it themselves. So they're paying you for, number one, is accountability and coaching. Number one is to get results. Number two, the reason they're not getting results is a byproduct of programming and accountability. So making sure that you're checking in with people that like have not been in there in 2 weeks every single Monday and running that report. So I think that's crucial to churn there. And then lay out, this is kind of like what we did for Lasso. What's the perfect onboarding process? Like every single step, from the minute they walk in the gym to the minute they start their first class, what needs to happen in an ideal world? And then what's the ideal first 100 days of their journey look like? And then build that out. Once you get to a point that you can say, I am doing everything that we can as a gym to make sure they have the best experience and are going to get the best results, then churn is going to be kind of what it is, right? And then you can start predicting, this is what I need per month in membership to outbeat my churn to reach my year 3, 5-year goals. So I would say that's that's kind of big picture with churn. The other thing we want to talk today about this part too is when you go into marketing, playing the long game and having a long-term mindset. And let me say that when franchises we've worked with and know of, they will spend $7,000, $4,000 to $7,000 a month on paid marketing before they ever even open. That is why Orange Theory opens with 300 to 400 members. They're spending upwards of anywhere from $28,000 to $35,000 before they ever open their door. I always push back on mentor companies to say you don't need paid marketing. Well, if paid marketing didn't work, why are the biggest franchises in the world doing it? That's kind of like saying that like the smartest people, like that would be like saying, well, social media doesn't work, so don't listen to Gary Vee because he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you look at the industry leaders in revenue and membership volume, you should be trying to duplicate and take things from what they're doing that works in membership growth. And you would be naive not to do so. If I knew the best marketing company in the world and I was like, yeah, but they're doing it all wrong. Well, my ego and my pride's in my way. So backtracking and knowing that, hey, this is the long-term play and marketing is essential. You should not go into anything, in Sherman, we hear this all the time, right? Like, well, what do I do when my gym gets maxed out? Well, that's great in theory.
Yeah.
Then you need to raise your rates, get a bigger gym, or your churn. And actually, in the churn part of it, you have to make sure you have the best processes ever when you guys start marketing, because the people that are coming in from paid marketing, it's not that they're bad clients at all. They just, like we said before, don't know, like, or trust you. And they're coming from a situation where they are not highly motivated, some of them, and really need accountability and things like that. So if you don't provide that, your churn is going to go up if you don't have a great gym. And so in saying that, playing the long game, when you keep growing, in a lot of cases, your churn is, it's not perfect, but it might go up 1% or 2%. So you're going to have to get more members and outbeat that churn. And some people might sit there and think, well, why would I, if my churn's going to increase, why would I do paid marketing? Well, you're going to be very slow at growing, and it's going to take you probably 3 times longer to get there without paid marketing. And so, Stu said it on his podcast. If you're not willing to say, I'm going to give this a year investment, not saying up front and paying up front, but give this a year, then you should probably not do paid marketing. Because we're not here to save your gym. If you've had your gym for 10 years and you're close, like 3 months away from going under, well, you probably should have invested 10 years ago. That's not being insensitive, but we're not here to save your business. We're here to pour, I was going to say gasoline on it, but that makes it sound like we're burning it down. We're here to pour more energy and gas to fuel the gym, not to save it. Sherman, what else on the long term?
I think you've definitely hit it. I believe one of the bigger things that we've talked about this, you and Tommy talked about it, is, there's just so much noise out there. And I want to be crystal clear. I'm not, obviously we have a dog in this fight. So we believe that paid marketing is the way to go. But we have so much data now from working with franchises and all the CrossFit type gyms and micro gyms that unless you started, 10 plus years ago with your gym, it is pretty much going to be very, very difficult to grow your gym to the level that you want it to without paid marketing. The organic play alone just doesn't work. It just doesn't. We're past those days, right? We have just passed the glory days where you say, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go work out in parks and do things like that. And I'm gonna grow this gym to, 150, 200 people by word of mouth. My members are going to be amazing. Those days are those days are just long gone, guys. So you have to get into this game, and that's one of the big reasons that at Lasso we really we push it so much, because we know that the gyms that we work with, the micro gyms, the CrossFit gyms, the few franchises we work with, we know that you guys offer something that's so good that the people need to be exposed to it. But there's so many of us that are just stuck in that 2010 mindset that, okay, if you open it, they will come. And that just couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah, if your mentor company is telling you that you never need paid marketing, or if until you get to 200 members, if it's not between the 100 and 150, you need to hire a different mentor, because they are simply scared of you leaving, because they know, well, the truth is there's only so many systems and processes that you can build, and then you have to scale. If you're not, one of my favorite sayings, if you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're listening to this podcast and for the last 6 months, it has been the same revenue, every day you're wondering where your leads are going to come from, it's probably to a stage where you actually need paid marketing, because what you need is leads in the door. That is as simple as I can say it. And we get on the call with people. I've done this, I've done that, I've done the churn, all my coaches are great, blah, blah, blah. But I know that I need leads in, and my mentor company is saying, no, you need to do X, Y, Z. He's like, no, I know I've done all those things. This is what I need. And the truth is, you probably know at your gut what you need. If you're surrounded with a bunch of people that aren't growing past $20,000, you should be asking yourself if you're right with the right mentor company. We have gym owners doing $110,000 a month, and started with us. The same gym started at $60,000. So it is possible to grow. And yes, it is important to have systems and processes. We're not going to sit there and say, we don't even want you to come to us if you don't have systems and processes. What we're saying is, if you've got to the, 15, 20,000, and you're like, I know I'm ready for something more, and I know that's what my gym needs, because XYZ franchise is coming to town. And let me be clear, if you are in a bigger market, they are coming to town. They're going to spend a lot of money and you're going to lose clients. I'm not trying to push fear out, but it's just reality. We had a gym that just had an amazing opening, and then all of a sudden a new personal training studio is opening up in 3 months and going to spend a lot of money. Granted, they are spending a lot of money, but I'm just saying in this day and age of the old like garage gyms, like there's cool franchises coming with awesome concepts that look amazing on the inside. And if you aren't able to invest in yourself, you will be left behind. So guys, we are here to help anybody. If you guys just want to chat, if you want to hop on a call, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. We will give you the honest truth. Like I just said, if you're just starting out and you have a lot of work to do on the business, work on the business. You probably can grind and hustle and don't need to hire a coach till you get to $10,000 to $15,000. You can just grind. If you don't have that grind, probably we're not a great fit for you because, like Sherman alluded to on the first episode, this is still work. Like this is not a button that we just turn on and your gym grows. You are going to have to nurture leads. You're going to have to sign up more people. You're going to grow. So you're going to have to get more coaches. We're going to create different good problems in your gym, but they are still problems that you're going to have to fix so that you can scale. And that's any business.
Yeah, no, for sure. Blake, do we have anything else to give him on this episode?
No, I think I would say if you guys haven't checked out our Wednesday podcast are 5 to 10 minutes, very short, like listen while you're drinking your coffee or driving your car to the gym, like key things we're breaking down individually to go into.
Yeah, no, for sure, guys. So if you haven't listened to those Wednesday little popcorn episodes, I like to call them, definitely check them out. And as always, guys, tell a friend to tune in, and we'll chat with you guys next week. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.